Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Ash Cash Show every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We are live in direct. Make sure you go to the ashcashshow.com to subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you go to ashcashtv.com so that you could subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're still looking to get 1,000 subscribers. So that first hurdle, not hurdle, the first milestone, let's call it that. The first milestone we're looking to accomplish is 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. So please go to ashcashtv.com. Maybe I'll run a contest or something because people like free stuff. So maybe I'll run a contest. But please go to ashcashtv.com to subscribe. If this is your first time, then welcome. If you are back, then welcome back. Fast shout to Carmela Mosley, YouTube, Butter Beans, Cole, YouTube. We got Najid Sterling. Good morning. MP, what up? Melissa Pena, good morning. Watching on Facebook. Insurance and Style, thank you so much for subscribing. We got Andrew. Salute to Andrew. Joanne in the building. So thank you so much for everybody who has subscribed. Thank you so much for everybody who actually supports the show as well. Wagwan Cloud 3 Vision, 3D Vision, Wagwan Brethren, Wagwan Sistren. So salute to everybody who has supported the show, right? So monetarily supported the show. So if you go to the ashcashshow.com, there's a button right in the middle that says support. And so the listener support is important. So it's so funny because I was telling the first lady the other day, I was watching PBS. And you know how PBS be like, this program is brought to you by with the support by viewers like you. And for the life of me, and please nobody laugh, but for the life of me, I never knew that viewers like you meant that people who are watching. Legit, I thought that viewers like you was a nonprofit organization because I heard it all the time. So I thought it was like a company. I thought it was a company or a nonprofit organization called Viewers Like You that supported the show. And so it was like, oh yeah, we're also supported by, because what happens prior to it, they give you all of their they tell you all of their sponsors. They're like, oh, so, from the such and such foundation and this foundation and this, and then also from Viewers Like You. So I literally thought that PBS was sponsored by a company called Viewers Like You, but no, it is actually sponsored by viewers like you. And so this show, right? Don't laugh at me, y'all. I just, I want to be honest. I want to be transparent. So don't laugh at me. But no, this show is supported by listeners like you. So thank you so much for those who support. If you go to the ashcashshow.com, in the middle button, it says support. And the reason why I'm saying that, because you got to think about it. If a big organization like PBS needs support from viewers like you, definitely I need y'all support. We need y'all support. We want to keep this train rolling. We want to get bigger and better. I told y'all about the vision, which is ultimately to be able to create our own financial news network, and that's the grander vision. Right now this is my home office, so I'm doing it out my home office, which looks fine. You know what I mean? But ultimately, I would love to, create, buy a studio, create a studio, have places where people could go in. And we interview people and really create a financial news network. Go out, man on the street and all that good stuff. And that's gonna happen. Number one is gonna happen by you guys showing up every day. So I appreciate you. So I don't take that for granted. So even in having the conversations, about support and all that stuff. It's not a guilt trip. If you guys cannot support, then that's fine. That's not a prerequisite to enjoy the show, because I'm not doing this for that. So I don't take it for granted that you guys are waking up every morning and tapping in and tuning in, and that means a lot to me. So that's first and foremost. And so we'll get to that vision by you just showing up, you telling a friend to tell a friend, subscribing, and just going. Just going from there. That's number one. Number two, as we grow the listenership, we'll be able to get other sponsors and things of that nature. And then eventually, as you guys support, it's just a totality of it. Like I said to y'all before, I do have some things in the works. I do have, I won't make like sort of like an announcement yet until, the ink is dry. But I do have an opportunity. That's all. I mean, most of the times it's usually just an opportunity, and so I have an opportunity, which is a good opportunity that I'm working with, and so we'll see, in God's will, what happens there. That I believe, as that starts to roll, it'll kind of give me more visibility towards the Ash Cash show. So I appreciate y'all. All right, cool. So again, if it's your first time, welcome. If you're back, then welcome back. As you know, the format of the show is threefold. Number one, we start off with an inspirational word of the day. Number two, we talk about the financial news that are happening, hip hop and finance news. And then number three, we open it up for any financial questions that you guys may have. So if you are watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, then please put your questions in the comment box below. If you are watching on Instagram, TV, then please put your questions in the comment box, and we will start from there. Morning. Janine Stewart in the building. Good morning, big sis. Welcome back. Butter Beans. We got Annette Randall Coney in the building. Good morning. Marva Dolphin. Good morning. Keitha Francis. Good morning, my sis. We got people in the building. So salute to everybody who's on the check-in. So today's daily quote is energy, and I like to say a quote, but I actually don't have a quote. Because normally I like to say a quote and then have define what the quote is, but it's just today's daily word or daily inspiration focuses on energy, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, so I have a program that I do called the Mind Right Legacy Builders program. Right now, I want to say it's about we're about 100 deep. And it's 100 students, and we are literally going through a program, 12-step program that helps retrain your mind in order to manage your money better, right? To build a legacy, and that's what's most important to me right now, is legacy. Like when it's all said and done, how we living so that we could be remembered the right way. And so the Mind Right Legacy Builders program, you can go to mindrightlegacy.com to join. I'm actually going to increase the price soon, because right now I think it's about $27 a month, but I'm about to add some more stuff to it. And so I'm going to increase the price. But one of the things that I do within the program is have one-on-ones with people, right? And so I had a one-on-one with one of my legacy builders, and we were talking about mindset. We were talking about money mindset. And as we were talking about money mindset, Martizia, what's up, Martizia? As we were talking about money mindset, one of the things that came up was energy, right? And I don't want to put out her business too much. She'll, I'll let her speak her energy. I mean, her stuff. But one of the things we were talking about was energy, and as she was explaining to me some of the adversity that she kind of faced, she was emphasizing on this adversity, like, this is this adversity that I went through. I don't want my kids to go through it, and so I want to get rid of these money blocks, and I don't want this to happen to my kids, right? And as we were talking, part of the question for me was, how did you release your money block, right? Like, how did you get to a point where, you stopped focusing on, or you were able to get past where you came from, right? Because as somebody that grew up in the projects, I grew up in the St. Nicholas houses, I grew up low income, didn't have two pennies to rub together. I think the saying goes, right? Didn't have two pennies to rub together, and so it was like, how did you overcome it? And my answer was really the energy, right? The energy that I put towards it, which means that whatever you're going through, whatever you are focusing on, just make sure you're focusing on the right energy, that you're putting the right energy out there, because that's all the universe knows. That's all God knows. That's all your higher power knows is energy. It doesn't know yes. It doesn't know the word yes. It doesn't know the word no. It only knows energy. It only knows what you're emitting, what vibration that you're putting out there. And I want to be clear, right? Think about this, right? If God or your higher power has made all languages, right? If you say yes or you say no, or if you say, it's not understanding language, right? Because language is actually, we created language, right? We created language. Language is learned, right? Language is not, and everything is divinely given, right? So I'm not saying it wasn't divinely given, but it's not like that's the language that God and your higher power talks, right? Because it's not about what you say, right? The language that your higher power, the universe, God, the language that your higher power understands is energy, is what you're emitting. And so if you get what you feel, period. If you wake up in the morning and you feel bad, then all the things that are going to start coming to your life are going to be bad things until you change that energy. If you wake up feeling good, then all the things that are going to come to you are going to feel good unless you change that energy. There's times that I wake up and I'm feeling funky, but the moment I start to change my energy is when the good starts to happen. There's times that I feel good, right? And I wake up and somebody says something, or I watch something on Instagram, or I see something or whatever, I start to feel bad because that's where my attention is going, right? And so it's all about energy. And so reversing back to the conversation I was having with the young lady is her circumstance. She's telling the universe, I don't want this circumstance for my kids. And I'm saying this with an emphasis for a reason, right? I don't want this circumstance for my kids. I'm going to work hard to make sure that my kids don't ever have to go through whatever I went through, right? Think about that. Like, think about that energy that's being put out there. That energy is not good energy. You may think it's good energy, right? And you may think it's good energy, but at the end of the day, it's not, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're putting energy out there and telling the universe what you don't want, I don't care, no matter what, this ain't never gonna happen, right? Universe don't understand don't. Universe don't understand never. Universe don't understand all of that. All it understands is your energy. So universe is like, oh, what is person focusing on? Person is focusing on poverty, homelessness, domestic violence, brutality, whatever, right? What is that person focusing on? And that is what that person will get, because that's what they focusing on. And I don't care how adamant you like, nah, I ain't never going through poverty. I ain't never going through that. It doesn't matter, because it's the energy. It's the energy that you're putting out there. And so I want you to be clear, right? I want you to be clear. What energy are you putting out there? What energy are you emitting, right? Are you focused on not being broke, or are you focused on being rich or financially free? Are you focused on, you know, lack, or are you focused on abundance? Right? Strictly Biz 810 says, "Wow, so thoughts actually do become things." That's a fact. It's not a hyperbole. Your thoughts become things, factual. And I can tell you from experience, there's been times in which I have thought about things and put energy. Really, it's really the energy, right? I have thought about things and put energy towards things that didn't even exist, honestly, from an of undesirable. Because I don't believe in positive and negative. I just think that everything works in your favor. So from an undesirable perspective, I had put energy into things that actually became true, because that's where my focus was. That's what I was focusing on. And then from a positive perspective, I've had situations that I had no clue how they were gonna happen, but it just felt good. Like yo feel good. Like it feel like my book is about to, hit a bestseller. It feel like I'm gonna start getting attention from, television, like, what I'm saying? Like, it feel like, my voice is gonna, gonna be amplified, you know? And as I started to feel like, I always get my dominant feeling. Always. It does not fail. I have not been proven wrong yet. Whatever I'm dominantly feeling, not what I'm saying, right? So words do have power. So I want to be clear on that. I'm not saying that you could say something negative and feel something positive and not, confuse the universe. I'm not saying that, right? What I am saying, though, is that your words coupled with how you feel, I've always gotten that. But primarily how I'm feeling, though, right? And what happens, though, is the reason why your words are important is because the more you say those words, it seeps into your subconscious, and then it turns into your feelings. So if you don't believe something and you keep saying it over and over and over again, then eventually that becomes your what your reality is. And so I want everybody to focus on your energy. What energy are you putting out there? Are you putting out an energy of abundance, or are you putting out an energy of lack? I respect the protesters and people who are out there fighting, right? So be careful, right? The people who are fighting for stuff, right? But let's make sure that the energy during these protests are about justice and not injustice, right? Let's make sure that that the energy is about freedom and not the lack of freedom and not the lack of rights. Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on our freedom. Let's focus on our what's God given. Like, I don't fight for what God gave me. It's mine already. Nobody can't take away what God gave me. My freedom is my freedom. You know what I'm saying? And so, and the other thing too is, I remember seeing, so right? I is powerful, right? The words that you put out after I, or I am, is powerful. And George Floyd, his dying breath, right? As he died, there were words that he uttered that protesters want to bring light to, and are uttering those words. I will not, because I can, right? I can. And in the eyes of the prey, right? In the eyes of the people who have done him injustice, when you wear the shirt, right? When you wear the shirt that says his dying, what he said when he was dying, you're giving power, right, to the predator. You're giving them power because you're reminding them of, what he said in his dying breath. And so, so let's stay focused. And speaking of which, right, of shirts and stuff like that. So fast shout out to my guy Heck. Heck Run Miles. That's his Instagram. So he just sent me a package. So this is it, right? Let me tell y'all something. Yo, he's not even my friend, right? Like, that's my brother. My brother Heck, man, came through what they came through. Like, so he has his own T-shirt line, right? And so these are the type of people that you need in your life. Let me tell you this, right? Tell you about my brother Hector. So my brother Heck, I know Heck since high school, right? Always a good dude. Like, I know him no other than that. Like, he's always been a good dude, like, biggest heart ever, right? And so my man Heck got his own T-shirt line. He's helped his family. Fast shout out to my sister Tosh, little Ryan. You know what I'm saying? He has his own business, and he's been able to run. He's a T-shirt business. He has him and his family. They have a photo booth business, so they're doing their thing, right? And so the other day, what was it? Oh, that's what all that noise was you were making. Yeah, that's my guy Heck, right? So the other day, he just sends me a random picture of like merchandise that he started to create. Like, he created an Ash Cash line. I promise you, I didn't ask him. I didn't do like he created the Ash Cash line. Like, he created a clothing line for me, right? So first I'm gonna show y'all, yo, my guy created like the package, right? So I don't know if y'all can see it, IG. Look, so he created the package, right? So on my website is like pictures of me or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And my logo. So if y'all noticed the hats back there on my logos, and so this is the package that he created, right? That says Ash Cash motivational apparel, right? So Ash Cash, motivational apparel, right? So that's the package that he created. So now so all the quotes that I put on Instagram and Facebook, right? So all these quotes that I put on Instagram and Facebook, my guy literally, right? My guy literally took the quotes and created a package out of them, right? And so, this is lit. I'm gonna wear one of the shirts, right? But like on a tag, this is crazy. On a tag, it say Ash Cash, motivational apparel, and it's like, thank you, right? So he has a card in there that says, thank you. We appreciate your recent order. It is our goal that you are always happy with the items you purchase from us. So please let us know if your buying experience was nothing short of excellent. Your continued patronage and suggestions are vital part of growth, and for that we are most grateful. Thanks again. We look forward to serving you for many years to come. And so, like, literally, and I'm gonna open one of these so y'all can see, because I don't think y'all understand the magnitude of the gesture, right? So look, so now, right? So this is the card, right? The card that he put in is like a thank you card that has like all of my Instagram, my handles on there. But yo, fam, my guy created a tag, yo. Yo, you see the tag? He created a tag. The tag is a picture of me with IamAshCash.com, my logo, and it says motivational apparel. Yo, if y'all want to be my friend, yo, I don't know how that's gonna happen, cause you know what I'm saying. Look, this says, oh, time is non-refundable. You know what I'm saying? Like this shirt, time is non-refundable, motivational apparel. And where's that? On the side, yo, my guy got, you know what I mean, Ash Cash Clothing, Harlem, New York. Yo, mind you, this is not a project I was working on. This is not a project I was working on. It's not something that I was like, yo, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Like he did it. He did it. And then sent it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, word. Yeah, my logo is actually inside as well. So he put my logo inside as well. So this ain't something I was working on, right? This is something that he just did and just sent it to me, right? And so if you want to be my friend, yeah, the bar is high, B. The bar is high. But I say all that to say is that, yo, salute to that man. Salute to that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my brother. That's my brother. Yeah, like that was big. That was big. So we gonna work it out. Like, I don't even have a choice. Like, I didn't, I have merch on my website right now, but I don't even have a choice but to start, selling Ash Cash motivational, you know what I'm saying? Joyce William Brooks books. I need his info. So Heck Runs Miles is his Instagram. Yo, y'all need to flood his Instagram, matter of fact. And tell and show him some love. But wait, hold on, let me find his Instagram real quick. His Instagram is Heck Runs Miles. So HEC_run_miles. I'm gonna put it right here. Yo, y'all need to flood his Instagram with some love, y'all. Heck _run_miles. Yo, I just posted his that's his Instagram, my guy Hector. Yo, follow him. Yo, flood his IG, send him DMs, all that. Yo, show him nothing but love. Yo, please. That would mean a lot to me if y'all did that, yo. All right, cool. Let me jump into this news. So salute to my guy, love you, bro. Yeah, look out for the Ash Cash motivational apparel. So we like literally just taking the quotes. You know what I'm saying? Banks don't banks don't recognize street credit. You know what I'm saying? So this say bank don't recognize street credit. What's this one? This one says, oh, take the risk, take the risk, take the risk. You know what I'm saying? So salute to that man. You know what I'm saying? So please. You know what I mean? Heck run miles. Salute to that guy. Show him some love. Flood his DMs. Follow him. All of that. You know what I'm saying? We about to put the shirts up. You know what I'm saying, for sale. So y'all could that'll be another way y'all can support the show. We about to make that happen really, really soon. So we're gonna do that. So I appreciate y'all. All right, so let's jump into this news. Thank y'all for rocking out. That was the inspiration of the day. A. Ashley Hazel, what's up? Guy Jazzy Rainey, good morning. Karen Harris, good morning, in the building. All right, so let's jump on this news. All right, so in the markets, did pretty good, and so we got Nasdaq was up 0.74%, S&P 500 was up 0.43%. We got Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 0.50%, gold was up 1.06%, and 10-year Treasury was up 1.6 basis points, which is bips, and an oil was down 1.25%. And so the Nasdaq actually hit a high, right? So that Nasdaq broke a record. So it peaked over 10,000, and so it's at it's at 10,131. Let's see, it's at 10,131, and so the Nasdaq hit the record high. And part of that, something that's really happening is that normally when you look at Nasdaq, you look at the Dow Jones, you look at S&P 500, they're always like going up together. But for the first time in not history, but since I think 1983. Is that you're looking at them going different directions. So Nasdaq is up almost 13% for the year. S&P 500 is down 3%, and then you also have the Dow Jones, or the Dow is down. The Dow is down 8.4%, right? And so Nasdaq is up 13%. S&P 500 is down 3%, and then the Dow is down 8.4%. And so it's normally they all rise together, but now there's a separation, and the reason that there's a separation is because Nasdaq is 40% comprised of tech stocks, right? And so because it's tech stock, that's the reason why Nasdaq is doing well, because tech is increasing. Especially, you think COVID-19, most people are using technology, so that's why that's up. And when you think about the Dow Jones, it only has Apple and Microsoft. It doesn't have all the others. And an S&P 500 is 80% of all of the U.S. stocks, right? And so that's why when you think about the S&P 500, a lot of people go, do, buy index stocks because it's comprised of 80%. So if you really want to know which way the country is going, people usually look at the S&P 500, right? And so when you look at it being down 3%, that's 80% of the companies. So yeah, so that's that. The Dow Jones futures, they tumbled 300 points after Apple fuels record-breaking stock market rally, Netflix, Stone Cold, and buy zones. So Dow Jones futures tumbled more than 300 points earlier Wednesday before cutting losses along with the S&P 500 futures after Tuesday's coronavirus stock market rally jump on U.S.-China trade news. And so we did have, what's this guy's name? Jerome. So White House, Larry Kudlow. So you did have Larry Kudlow dismissed the idea that the U.S.-China trade deal was on the rocks, and he said that actually China has picked up their game. So on Wednesday, White House trader advisor Peter Navarro spoke markets. He spooked the markets when he said that the trade deal was over before walking back some of those comments. In other news, I want to talk about this coronavirus. So Dr. Anthony Fauci tells Congress parts of U.S. are seeing a disturbing surge of coronavirus infections. So White House health advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci said Tuesday that parts of the U.S. are beginning to see a disturbing surge in coronavirus infections. So while New York State is seeing a decline in COVID-19 cases, other states are seeing a rise in cases that reflect an increase of community spread. Fauci, director of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, said during a hearing before the House Energy and Commerce Committee. That's something I'm really quite concerned about. The coronavirus, which is sickened more than 24 million Americans, continues to rapidly spread throughout the United States. As of Monday, the U.S. 7-day average of new infection increased more than 30%. So I wanted to read something because it's weird because I'm seeing people not take the coronavirus serious, right? I posted something on my Facebook the other day, and I told y'all about that, right? So I had, my mentor, Alfred Edmond from Black Enterprise. He posted something on his page that I thought was very poignant. Like, why are we playing Russian roulette, right, with the coronavirus? And what happens is they talk about the people who get the coronavirus and the people who survive the coronavirus, but they don't talk about what does surviving coronavirus mean, right? So All About Wisdom says, Brother Cash, when you get a chance, watch Dr. Phil Valentine interview from last night. It was powerful. YouTube with Brother Truth. Yeah, send that to me in the DM if you could. Send me a link in the DM. I'll definitely check it out. And so when I was watching what Alfred Edmonds said, he kind of said like, yo, what does surviving, right? What does surviving the coronavirus mean, right? And so there were accounts of people who survived the coronavirus, who got it, survived, but they were still at risk of stroke. They were still at risk of dying. You look at their lungs were enlarged. Like there's things that the recovery process of it has to, that there's things that will take its toll, right? Because a lot of people may have underlying conditions but don't even know it, But I found this interesting. So Isaac Hayes III on Instagram posted this, right? He posted, he says, it was like a repost by somebody named Demi Treyakavan, I guess, right? Brother Wisdom says, Brother Cash, people need to stop eating animal flesh and GMO foods and eat more healthy. I agree. But let me tell you what this thing says, right? And so Demi says, a little wake-up call for all of you not wearing masks, right? It says, my cousin checked into the hospital Tuesday morning for body aches and chills. They tested her for COVID-19, and her results came back positive. She died yesterday morning around 4 a.m. Of kidney failure. She was 23 years old. And this was posted at 4:35 p.m. on June 19th. And Isaac Hayes, his caption said, I see so many people I know out and about like coronavirus is just poof gone. It's not. I've never seen a more undisciplined group of people in my life. I'm not talking about going to work. I'm talking about all the extracurricular activities. Y'all really out here in the clubs with no mask on. Just a reminder, right? And the reason why I thought this was important, because this is a 23-year-old, right? A 23-year-old who died from kidney failure because she contracted COVID-19. I know that there are people out here who are making it seem like COVID-19 is not a big deal. I know that there are people out here who have to work and have to, go out and make a living and things of that nature, right? But at the end of the day, people are dying from this. Like, I know people who have personally died from it, old and young, right? I think I want to say that so far, I know 4 people personally that have died from the coronavirus, right? As a result of it, whether they had underlying conditions and, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, there are people who are dying from the coronavirus. And so please don't be controlled by the media. Just because the media is not trying to instill fear in you anymore because they got a new directive, right? I don't trust the media, right? If the media is owned by 5 companies and these 5 companies are telling you, are pumping fear into you, and then the next week they're saying, nah, it's all, everything is all good, then what's the truth? The truth is always in the middle. And so when I watch when I read or watch, I see, okay, in the middle, or here's fear and here's being relaxed, what's in the middle? And so, you got to be precautious, right? Definitely be precautious as you're going out there. In other news, officer is fired in the shooting death of Breonna Taylor. So, I definitely seen a lot of protests and people in support of charging the officers that were responsible for the shooting death of Breonna Taylor. Well, a police officer involved in the fatal shooting of Breonna Taylor in Louisville, Kentucky, has been fired more than 3 months after Taylor's death, according to the police department. Detective Brett Hankinson was informed in a letter signed by the police chief that his employment with the department is terminated effective immediately. Breonna Taylor, a 26-year-old black EMT, was killed when police broke down the door of her apartment in an attempt drug sting and shot her 8 times. Hankinson and 2 officers were later put on administrative leave. And so we're still looking for charges to be brought up. But the latest is that they have been, one of them have been arrested. In other news, correction officers file racial discrimination charge over guarding Derek Chauvin. So 8 correctional officers of color at a Minnesota county jail say they were reassigned or prevented from working in the unit where the former Minnesota police officer charged with killing George Floyd was held when he was booked into the facility. They also alleged that the former officer, Derek Chauvin, was given special treatment in his brief stay in the jail before being transferred to a state prison. The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office issued a statement Sunday saying that the jail superintendent gave the order to protect employees of color from additional trauma after the killing of Floyd, though Smith said the account differs from what she and the officers were previously told. So yeah. I found in other news, I found this is dope. that T.I. will be teaching the business of trap music course at Atlanta HBCU, right? So according to Hip Hop DX, rapper T.I. has landing a teaching gig at Clark Atlanta University. The multi-platinum selling rapper is teaming up with Dr. Melva K. Williams to teach a course called The Business of Trap Music at the historically black college and university HBCU. CAU President George T. French Jr. announced the school's partnership with T.I. on Tuesday, June 23rd. T.I.'s course is scheduled to begin in the fall of 2020. So that's dope. Bill Cosby is granted appeal in 2008 Pennsylvania sexual assault conviction in the decision that could test the legal framework of the Me Too cases. So in a stunning decision that could test the legal framework of Me Too, comedian Bill Cosby has won the right to fight his 2018 sexual assault conviction in the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. The 82-year-old Cosby has been in prison in suburb Philadelphia nearly 2 years after a jury convicted him of drugging and sexually assaulting a woman at his home in 2004. He's serving a 3 to 10 years sentence. The Supreme Court has agreed to review two aspects of the case, including the judge's decision to let prosecutors call 5 other accusers to testify about long ago encounters with the once powerful actor and comedian. All right, and then lastly, Little Yachty. Thank God, Little Yachty survived. But he totals his $330,000 Ferrari on a rainy Atlanta freeway. So definitely lucky to be alive. On Monday, the 22-year-old rapper was driving his red 2020 Ferrari before hitting the right concrete wall. The car eventually came to a stop between the right emergency lane and the seventh lane. Yachty told police he didn't remember anything after he lost control of the vehicle, but witnesses at the scene say he was driving at a high rate of speed before the accident. The crash caused a traffic jam for a good portion of the afternoon. So if anybody is in Atlanta, you know when it rains, do not play with those Atlanta streets. So all the travelers, my last one, all the travelers out there, the EU may block American visitors when it relaxes border control on July 1st because of the coronavirus threat to the president. So all the people who, once the country opens up, thinks that they're gonna go traveling, Europe is like, chill, nah, fam, y'all blocked, delete. All right, cool. That's my news for the day. I'm gonna open it up for any questions that you guys may have. If anybody has any questions, please put your questions. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, put your questions below. If you're watching on Instagram, please put your questions in the question box, and I will answer them. We got about 15 minutes for the Ask Ash Cash segment of the show. V Good Energy says, what's the difference between joining Mind Right Legacy now versus the program coming in July? I can't answer that right now because, right now, I know that the Legacy Builders program, the price of the Legacy Builders program will go up definitely. So from $27, it's going to go up. And I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be $49. I don't know if it's going to be $100. I have to look at everything that everybody's getting to determine what the price is going to go up to, right? Part of the Legacy Builders program is about creating a business and scaling that business, a digital business. I don't know if I'm going to add that as part of the Legacy Builders program or if I'm going to make that a separate program, but just allow Legacy Builders to get a discount on that program. So I can't definitively say. I have a week to decide. So if you ask me this question by Friday, I'll know. But I will say that if anybody joins the Legacy Builders program now at $27, you'll be grandfathered in and your price won't go up. It's only anybody who signs up afterwards that the price is going to go up. But just to kind of let you know that with the Legacy Builders program, it's well worth it, though. You get access to the Legacy Builders program, all of the courses that I have on my academy, on academy.mindrightmoney.com, which is why I'm going to change it, because I feel like instead of having an academy and sell courses individually, I'm about to just have one membership. Like, nobody could buy individual courses. That I'm just going to have one membership, and if you have a membership, then you have access to all the courses. So that's what I'm kind of figuring out what the best business model is, because I just feel like from a marketing and sales and promotion perspective, there's just so much things that I'm focusing on, and it's hard to give attention to all these things. And so I'm thinking about just bundling all of the courses, or every single course, into the Legacy Builders program, and then literally the Legacy Builders program will be the only online offering that I offer. So that's what the indecision is right now, is just trying to figure out what the business model is going to be, and then that way I can push forward. Because I will tell you that as things start to pick up for me, I'm gonna be very busy, and so I want to be able to focus. So if you go to www.mindrightlegacy.com, that is the website. If you go, and I'll put that in there as well. So www.mindrightlegacy.com. That's where you can sign up for the Legacy Builders program. You'll see everything that you get. I'm just going to be adding more stuff to it, so I'm not taking anything away from it. So yeah, I'll just be adding more stuff to that. So thank you for that question. All right, we got I still didn't even I know you asked this yesterday. I'm sorry because I'll be busy, but you asked this yesterday. So what are your thoughts on Schwab stock slices? Do you think it's too small of an investment? So I have not looked into it, to be honest with you, but I will. I'm typing this in right now, so that I could take a look at it. So tomorrow I'll have an answer. I'll definitely have an answer for you tomorrow. My apologies. LaChina B. Yesterday you mentioned trademarking after the show, after showing business under a particular name, but can't you just file an intent to use, right? So yesterday you mentioned trademarking after showing business under a particular name, but can't you just file an intent to use? I'm not sure. So LaChina, I'm not sure, because I know that when I went through my trademark, and I'll whiteboard this as well. So I'm gonna take intent to use, so I can, and I'll ask my attorney as well. All right, so let's see what it says though, right? So intent to use says the first to file an intent to use application with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, provided that the applicant files the application before the trademark is actually used by another party, and the applicant later puts the mark into actual use. All right, so yeah, so I guess the answer to that is yes, right? You said my name right. Nah, a few, after a while, you'll have a few practices, you'll get it right. So I appreciate that. But the answer is yes now. So now that I read it, yes, you can file an intent to use application, but the law is saying that as long as, right, you file the application before another part, before it's actually used, right? So before somebody actually uses it, you have to file an application for it, and then you also have to make sure that you actually use it, once you have the intent to use. And so what I'm assuming is that the difference, I guess in my case, that when I tried to trademark Ash Cash, people were already using it, right? So you already had, I know there's a writer for a magazine that I don't know if they're still using it, but was using the name Ash Cash. I know that there's a battle rapper that's out that uses the name Ash Cash. I know that there's a bunch of people who just use it as a nickname or whatever the case may be. And so because people already had the name out there already, I had to prove that I make money off of it. And so when I went through my process, they literally, I had to give them books, I had to give them different things that proved that I used it. And so that's why that's why I think that I wasn't able to use the intent to use moniker. My guy Sinclair, he says they all need to concede. Are they good? They good right now. I ain't tripping. Cause the only reason I ain't tripping, my guy Jason Clay, the only reason I ain't tripping is because if you Google Ash Cash, like I own the first 10 pages. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, y'all good. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Do you suggest doing a trademark for the state you are in or doing one for every state? So the difference is that a trademark is actually federal. And your LLC is the registration of your LLC is state by state basis. And so if you file a trademark, it's with the U.S. Department of Copyright and Trademark, or Patent and Trademark. I forget the name of the corporation, right? Or the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, right? And so it's federal. So once you're protected in the U.S. using that. Each country has its own trademark rules as well. So if you're going to be using your trademark in Europe, for instance, or in Africa, there are different trademarks that you're going to have to file for from an international perspective. And that's why like when you watch in China, right? In China, they bootleg American stuff all the time, right? And the reason why they could get away with it because there's a lot of American companies that just are not trademarked in China. So they can literally steal your whole stuff in China because, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it's different countries. But yeah, so it's uspto.gov. Thank you, Mompreneur ATL, for that. All right, let's see. All right, so we got Travi Trav. Can you walk us through buying bonds and how it's financially beneficial? So with bonds, you can use any of the platforms that you buy stocks, in as well, right? So you got your Robinhoods, you got your Schwabs, you have your I don't know if Cash App sells. I know they sell individual stock, but you have your TD Ameritrade. You have your discount brokers where you can buy the stocks. Bonds are debt, right? And so when you buy stock, you're buying equity. When you're buying bonds, you're buying debt, right? Meaning that, yes, Lady and Lord Inc. says, will this live be saved today? Yes, it will be saved. So when you buy a stock, you're part owner of that company. Even if it's a small share of that company, you're part owner of that company. And so when you're buying stock, you're owner. When you buy bonds, you're buying debt. And what happens is this. You're literally just lending, right? You're lending money to the company, and you're telling the company that because I lend you this money, you're gonna give me a percentage later on, right? And so I give you this money now, and then when the bond matures, right, when it comes due, then people they're gonna give you money then. And so you could, and the benefits of a bond is, depending on the strength of the company, right? If you are buying a company that is strong, and they just need an infusion of cash, that you're guaranteed this percentage, once the bond matures. So that's the benefit, why it's financially beneficial, because you literally grow your money opposed to stocks. You're growing your money through capital gains, right? Meaning that whatever you put into the stocks right now, as the company grows, that's how you realize or make your money. So appreciate that question, Trav. The DMV is in the building. Let's see. Jamal, I like this. Jamal Griffin says, how do you feel about buying ebook licenses to resell as your own? I think that's the greatest hustle ever. I think it's the greatest hustle ever because a lot of the only thing is that you should not put it out without editing it, right? Without adding your flavor to it. But there are, I think it's called PLR, private license. I forget what it stands for. But I think it's a great hustle, right? Because at the end of the day, there's a website called plrhustle.com. I saw that, that they allow you to buy ebooks and then, put them out. You license them and you can sell them. But I think if you put them out the same way you bought them, I think that's, you should know the information. So make sure that you're teaching something that you know, right? So don't just buy it and haven't used it or haven't been successful with it. But then also, I also think that you should put your flavor into it. So that way, it's like hiring somebody to do research for you, but then you add your flavor to it. So I think it's ethical. I think it's good only if it's something that you've done before, right? So don't buy something. Don't buy an ebook on how to create financial freedom, and you don't have no experience creating financial freedom, if that makes sense. All right, y'all. That is my time. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you go to the ashcashshow.com to subscribe to our podcast. Make sure you go to ashcashtv.com to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please like, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. And I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Same time, same place, in God's will.